Have you ever wondered how self-care and personal intimacy change as we age? Masturbation, often considered a private and natural act, can take on a deeper meaning in later years, offering comfort, emotional connection, and even healing in ways we may not expect. But what happens when it transitions from a healthy habit to something that might carry unintended challenges? In this video, we'll explore the truths about masturbation in old age, discussing its potential physical and emotional benefits, as well as the complexities it might present. Most importantly, we'll uncover how mindfulness and moderation can create a balanced approach that supports your overall well-being. If you find this topic engaging, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Share 1 if you resonate with this discussion, or 0 if it doesn't quite connect with you. Your insights help guide our future content, ensuring we address the topics that matter most to you. Let's start this meaningful conversation together. Let's take a deeper look into a topic that is often misunderstood and is surrounded by a sense of sensitivity: the experience of pleasure in later life. In this discussion, we aim to unravel the misconceptions and face the reality of how this intimate practice can shape the lives of those involved. From the liberating joys to the more complex emotional facets, this exploration is particularly aimed at touching the hearts of mature individuals, especially those who are embarking on a profound journey in their golden years. Masturbation is often viewed simply as a physical act, but it is so much more than that. It becomes a deeply personal exploration of one's desires, a sanctuary where one can connect with their own body, soothing the mind, body, and soul no matter the age. The ability to experience physical pleasure while relieving emotional tension is undeniably a significant part of the human experience. However, as we age, this practice takes on new layers of meaning. The body, once driven by the intensity of youth, begins to undergo a series of natural transformations, hormonal changes, differing physical sensitivities, and shifting rhythms of desire. Yet, even though these physical changes are inevitable, pleasure does not disappear. It simply becomes more refined, personal, and profound. For those in the later chapters of life, masturbation can become a way to reconnect intimately with a body that is aging, while testosterone and estrogen levels decrease, which may reduce the intensity of sexual desire. They do not vanish. Instead, they wait patiently, ready to be explored in calmer, more meaningful ways. Let's consider an example. Imagine someone in their late 60s who has spent much of their life focused on family and career. Now, with fewer external distractions, they may find themselves rediscovering their own body in a way that feels more nurturing than ever before. The experience of pleasure shifts from the urgent, fast-paced nature of youth to something much more meditative, connected, and healing. The absence of rushed deadlines, the absence of external pressures, opens a door to the exploration of self that many had not considered before. There's a quiet intimacy in the process, one that doesn't just soothe physical tension, but also releases accumulated emotional stress. The practice becomes an act of self-care, a reminder that joy and pleasure are not limited by age. As we age, our bodies may slow down, but the capacity for intimate connection with ourselves remains, transforming in ways that require a deeper awareness and acceptance. As we navigate this journey of aging, it's important to remember that pleasure, in whatever form it takes, is a fundamental human right. The misconceptions about aging and sexuality often ignore the fact that intimacy and self-pleasure can remain a vital, enriching part of life. Even in its later stages, the experience is no longer simply about physical gratification. It becomes a profound, reflective process that helps us reconnect with our inner selves and navigate the complexities of emotional health in the context of aging. In conclusion, while the body changes, the spirit of pleasure and self-exploration remains resilient. For those in the later years of life, masturbation can offer not just physical satisfaction, but a deeply personal, emotional release, allowing one to reconnect with their own being in ways that are peaceful, enriching, and life-affirming. Self-stimulation, often seen as a deeply personal and private act, can become a profound journey of rediscovery, liberated from the expectations or pressures that often accompany intimacy in younger years. It opens a space for reconnecting with the body's needs and desires, reaffirming that pleasure remains a valuable experience, worthy of appreciation, no matter one's age. The benefits of this practice, both physical and mental, run deep and are far-reaching. Medical research consistently emphasizes the positive effects of regular self-pleasure, particularly for older adults. On a physical level, it helps maintain healthy blood circulation to the genital area, ensuring that essential tissues remain strong and free from the atrophy that often comes with inactivity. But perhaps the most important rewards are the emotional and psychological ones, which are immeasurable. Masturbation releases endorphins, powerful feel-good hormones that melt away stress, anxiety, and even symptoms of depression. This mental relief can be more profound than most other activities, providing a unique sense of calm that enriches the emotional well-being of individuals. For older adults, this practice serves as a reminder that they are still alive, still capable of experiencing joy, and still deserving of deep satisfaction. It also offers a way to honor the body's needs without the burden of shame, guilt, or societal judgment, embracing the idea that the journey of pleasure continues differently, perhaps, but no less beautifully, well into the later years of life is empowering and liberating. Consider the example of an elderly individual who, after years of focusing on responsibilities like raising children or maintaining a career, finally has the time to explore personal fulfillment. When they engage in self-pleasure, it's not just about physical relief. It's a moment of profound self-connection and acceptance. It becomes a practice of honoring their own body, reinforcing that their desires and well-being still matter. This is especially significant in a world that often dismisses the sexual agency of older adults. As we age, sleep often becomes more elusive. The deep, restorative rest that's crucial for mental and physical health may become harder to come by. In this context, masturbation takes on an additional benefit. The relaxation that follows can significantly improve sleep quality. The release of tension and the mental calmness it brings helps soothe the body, preparing it for deeper, more peaceful slumber. In fact, many older individuals find that engaging in this intimate practice before bed becomes a ritual that aids in achieving the rest they need to maintain their overall health. The act of self-pleasure is not just about a fleeting moment of satisfaction. It becomes part of a holistic approach to maintaining vitality and emotional equilibrium throughout the aging process. In essence, self-pleasure for older adults is far more than a mere physical act. It's a form of self-care, a celebration of one's body, and a key to emotional resilience. It signifies that the capacity for joy, peace, and personal fulfillment never diminishes, no matter what age we find ourselves. It's a practice of embracing life fully, acknowledging that, even as our bodies change, our desires and capacity for happiness remain vital parts of our existence. Self-pleasure, a deeply personal and intimate practice, serves as more than just a physical act. For older adults, it evolves into a powerful tool of self-awareness and empathy. In a world where aging often comes with feelings of vulnerability, loss of control, and even a disconnection from one's own body, self-stimulation offers a path to reclaim a sense of ownership over one's physical being, something that can often feel elusive as the years go by. As the body changes, so does the relationship we have with it. For many older individuals, there is a sense of grief that accompanies the natural process of aging, especially when it comes to the physical self. Yet, engaging in self-pleasure allows for a reconnection with that body, transforming it from a source of frustration to a comforting presence. It becomes an opportunity to feel harmony within oneself, to experience the body not as something to be disappointed in, but as something to embrace. This renewed connection nurtures self-esteem, enabling older adults to cultivate a more positive and accepting view of their aging bodies. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering and liberating. Consider, for example, an elderly person who has spent much of their life caring for others, whether it be raising children or fulfilling the demands of a career. As they enter their later years, they may find themselves grappling with feelings of disconnection from their physical self. Through self-pleasure, they are able to reassert control over their body in a deeply personal way. rediscovering pleasure that is uniquely their own. It becomes not just a moment of relief, but an affirmation of their worth and vitality, a testament to their continued capacity for joy. However, like all forms of pleasure, there is a fine line. When self-stimulation becomes excessive or obsessive, particularly in older age, it can lead to unintended physical and emotional consequences. The most immediate physical effect of overindulgence is heightened sensitivity in the genital area. While this may seem appealing at first, it can lead to discomfort and a temporary loss of sensation over time. This heightened sensitivity can create a cycle where an individual feels the need for stronger stimulation to achieve the same level of pleasure, ultimately leading to dissatisfaction and frustration. In some cases, this may even cause anxiety, as the simple act of self-pleasure no longer provides the same sense of fulfillment it once did. As with any form of self-care or enjoyment, balance is key. The act of self-pleasure should remain a healthy, affirming experience that nurtures the connection between mind and body. When approached with awareness and moderation, it becomes a profound expression of self-love and self-acceptance, a way to honor the body as it changes and grows older. It's important to remember that the journey of pleasure doesn't need to be rushed or forced. It can evolve slowly and gently, offering deeper satisfaction with each passing year. By understanding the nuances of this practice and the importance of maintaining a healthy balance, older adults can ensure that self-pleasure remains a valuable and enriching part of their lives, a source of comfort, connection, and joy that transcends age. As we age, the emotional impacts of self-pleasure often overshadow its physical effects. In my experience, many older individuals turn to masturbation as a way to escape deeper emotional struggles, loneliness, anxiety, or depression. Aging, with its inevitable changes, often leads to shifts in social relationships, with family dynamics evolving or friends and loved ones no longer as present. It's during these quieter, more isolated moments that self-pleasure can temporarily provide relief, offering a brief escape from the overwhelming weight of solitude. However, when this act becomes the primary or sole source of comfort, it can deepen the emotional void, leading to a cycle of dependency that further isolates the person. Emotional isolation, particularly for older adults, is a silent danger. As they retreat into their own world of self-satisfaction, the ability to seek meaningful connections with others begins to fade. Human connection, which is essential for emotional well-being, is gradually replaced by the fleeting pleasure of self-pleasure. While self-stimulation in moderation can be a healthy part of sexual expression, when it begins to replace genuine human interaction and emotional fulfillment, it can intensify feelings of loneliness. In these cases, the very act that was meant to alleviate solitude may paradoxically reinforce it, creating a self-imposed bubble of isolation. Imagine the experience of an elderly individual who, for years, has lived in a bustling household, surrounded by children and family members. As time passes, the children grow up and leave home, and friends may move away or pass on. The silence that follows can be deafening, and in response, the individual may seek comfort in self-pleasure. Initially, this might provide a temporary sense of relief, a way to soothe the loneliness. Yet, as it becomes a primary source of comfort, the individual finds themselves retreating further into isolation. The absence of genuine human interaction can begin to feel more profound, and the pleasure once felt from self-pleasure becomes diluted, leaving behind a sense of emptiness. This emotional isolation is particularly insidious because it often goes unnoticed. It can be difficult to recognize how self-pleasure, when overindulged in, can become a coping mechanism that prevents a person from seeking out more fulfilling emotional connections. As they turn inward for comfort, they become less likely to engage in the world around them, missing opportunities for rich, meaningful relationships and moments of connection with others. In the end, balance is key. Masturbation can indeed be a source of joy, healing, and comfort in later years, providing physical release, emotional connection, and a sense of vitality. Yet, when it tips over into excess, it loses its positive impact, becoming a shadow of its original purpose. The emotional consequences of overindulgence, feelings of frustration, isolation, and dependency can outweigh the fleeting pleasure it provides. The journey to find balance in this practice is a deeply personal one, requiring honesty with oneself, self-awareness, and most importantly, compassion. It's a delicate dance between honoring the body's needs and not allowing it to become a substitute for the richer, more fulfilling connections that human relationships offer. The key lies in recognizing the value of moderation, understanding that pleasure, when embraced in its most balanced form, can be a source of strength rather than an escape from pain. By fostering this understanding, older adults can ensure that their journey with self-pleasure remains a healthy, enriching part of their lives, rather than a way of retreating from the world. In the later stages of life, some individuals may turn to self-pleasure as a substitute for emotional companionship, affection, or support, gradually retreating from the world around them. This reliance on masturbation can lead to a deeper emotional disconnection, reinforcing feelings of profound isolation. The desire for connection and intimacy may not be met through relationships, and as a result, self-pleasure fills a void that once might have been occupied by human interaction. This emotional isolation, while often subtle, can lead to a more profound sense of loneliness over time. What do medical studies say about masturbation in older age? From a clinical standpoint, masturbation itself isn't inherently harmful. In fact, when practiced in moderation, it can offer a variety of health benefits, ranging from stress relief to improved sleep. However, as with any behavior, when taken to extremes, it can lead to unwanted side effects, both physically and emotionally. Numerous studies have highlighted the potential dangers of excessive masturbation in older adults, particularly when it becomes a primary method of emotional or sexual release. Physically, overindulgence in self-pleasure can lead to fatigue, not only in the sexual sense but also in overall energy levels. This depletion can have broader consequences, diminishing the motivation and energy required for daily activities. As we know, maintaining an active lifestyle is critical for seniors. Regular exercise promotes flexibility, muscle strength, and cardiovascular health. Excessive masturbation, however, can rob individuals of the enthusiasm necessary to stay active, contributing to a more sedentary lifestyle. This, in turn, can increase health risks such as heart disease, muscle atrophy, and a decline in overall flexibility. Another important aspect to consider is how excessive self-pleasure affects interpersonal relationships in the later years of life. Many older adults live alone, and in these circumstances, masturbation may serve as a way to fulfill sexual needs. For those in long-term relationships, however, the situation becomes more complex. If masturbation becomes a frequent or obsessive habit, it can gradually replace the intimacy shared between partners. Imagine a couple who has spent decades together, their relationship built on shared experiences, physical closeness, and mutual emotional support. If one partner begins to use masturbation excessively as a form of sexual release, the emotional and physical distance between them may widen. What was once an intimate, shared experience may now be replaced by solitary acts that create a gap in connection. This shift could lead to feelings of neglect, dissatisfaction, and emotional withdrawal on both sides, making the relationship feel more distant and disconnected. For those navigating this situation, finding balance becomes crucial. It's important to ensure that masturbation does not become a substitute for intimacy with a partner, but rather complements the bond they share. When managed thoughtfully, it can enhance emotional closeness without taking the place of physical affection. This balance is vital in preventing masturbation from becoming a barrier to loving touch and emotional connection, which are essential for maintaining strong, healthy relationships as we age. Ultimately, the key lies in fostering a relationship with oneself that supports healthy self-pleasure without letting it interfere with the deeper, more fulfilling connections with others. This is a delicate journey, one that requires self-awareness, honest communication, and a commitment to preserving the emotional and physical bonds that make relationships meaningful. By nurturing balance, older adults can ensure that their sexual well-being remains an enriching part of life. while their emotional connections with others continue to thrive. Excessive masturbation can have a range of negative emotional consequences, particularly for those who were raised in environments where sexuality was considered taboo, shameful, or something to be hidden. For many older adults, these deep-seated beliefs persist into later life, leading to an inner conflict when they engage in self-pleasure. For these individuals, the pleasure derived from masturbation may be quickly overshadowed by feelings of guilt, shame, or regret. This internal struggle between the desire for pleasure and the ingrained belief that such actions are morally wrong can place a heavy emotional burden on one's mental well-being. It can affect self-esteem and exacerbate mental health issues, creating a vicious cycle of self-judgment and self-indulgence. The shame associated with such behavior may amplify feelings of isolation, as individuals feel trapped between the pleasures of the act and the harshness of their own inner critique. The psychological toll of this conflict can chip away at emotional health, leading to anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. It's important to acknowledge that these feelings are not uncommon, especially for those who grew up in conservative or repressive cultures. Recognizing that one is not alone in this experience can be an important first step in overcoming these emotional hurdles. However, confronting these feelings head-on and working towards self-acceptance can lead to significant emotional freedom. Embracing one's own desires without judgment can be a transformative process, allowing individuals to break free from the emotional constraints that have held them captive for so long. In the context of aging, while masturbation in moderation can offer physical and emotional benefits, it's crucial to be aware of the potential dangers of over-reliance on this behavior. Achieving balance is key, especially for those in relationships, ensuring that self-pleasure remains a healthy aspect of sexual and emotional well-being, rather than a source of disconnection or shame. When practiced thoughtfully, masturbation can complement a person's sexual health and contribute to a deeper sense of fulfillment, rather than becoming a substitute for genuine connection. Finding this balance means understanding the deeper emotional layers at play and acknowledging that sexual health is not just about the physical act, but about fostering a healthy relationship with one's own body and desires. It's about approaching this part of life with a sense of empowerment, free from the constraints of old shame, and embracing the freedom to live authentically and without self-judgment. As we age, our self-awareness and compassion for ourselves become more crucial than ever in maintaining a balanced and fulfilling life. In these later stages of life, it is important to recognize that sexuality, even in older years, remains a natural, beautiful, and deeply positive part of human existence. It should not be burdened by unnecessary feelings of guilt or shame. The ability to connect with our bodies through sexual pleasure, even in advanced age, is not just normal but also a valuable form of self-expression and emotional release. Yet, when masturbation becomes a means of emotional escape, replacing meaningful human connections, it may signal a deeper issue that needs attention. In such cases, seeking alternative emotional support, whether through therapy, counseling, or reconnecting with loved ones, can offer much-needed emotional nourishment, something far more substantial than the fleeting satisfaction gained from self-stimulation. One common concern among older adults is whether masturbation in later life could lead to long-term physical risks. This is where we must debunk lingering misconceptions that have caused unnecessary anxiety for many individuals. Contrary to outdated beliefs, there is no reliable medical evidence that supports the idea that masturbation causes permanent damage to the genitals or accelerates aging. Moreover, studies have consistently shown no link between masturbation and serious conditions such as prostate cancer or sexual dysfunction, like erectile dysfunction or impotence. These misconceptions only add to the unnecessary fear, particularly for older adults who already feel vulnerable due to changes in their bodies. That being said, moderation remains key in reaping the full benefits of masturbation without encountering unwanted side effects. While there is no permanent health risk, excessive masturbation can lead to physical exhaustion over time. Releasing energy frequently without balancing it with rest or proper nutrition can leave the body feeling drained, both physically and mentally. For example, think of a person who constantly engages in a physical activity, like running, without taking adequate breaks. While running itself is beneficial, overdoing it without proper rest can result in burnout, diminishing both physical stamina and mental clarity. Similarly, when masturbation is not balanced with other healthy lifestyle practices, it can lead to fatigue and reduce overall well-being. Thus, embracing sexuality in later life should be seen as an empowering aspect of aging, not one to be feared or avoided. It's about honoring our bodies, maintaining balance, and recognizing that the pursuit of pleasure, when done healthily, can continue to enhance our emotional and physical health in old age. Just as we carefully manage our diet, sleep, and exercise, our sexual health deserves the same mindful attention to ensure we can enjoy it without regret or harm. One potential consequence of excessive masturbation is a long-term decline in sexual desire. What is often seen as a way to satisfy sexual urges can, when forced or overdone, ultimately reduce that desire, leading to a growing sense of dissatisfaction or disappointment over time. However, masturbation in older age, when approached with mindfulness and moderation, offers numerous physical and emotional benefits. On a physical level, it promotes healthy blood circulation and helps maintain the elasticity of the genital tissues, playing a crucial role in preserving sexual function. It can also serve as an essential tool for emotional release, especially in moments of stress, anxiety, or loneliness. For many, it becomes a way to reconnect with their bodies, reinforce self-worth, and foster a sense of vitality. Yet, as with all things in life, balance is key. When masturbation begins to dominate one's time, or becomes a crutch that covers up other vital aspects of life, it is time to reflect on the underlying reasons. Perhaps it stems from feelings of loneliness, anxiety, or a lack of emotional connection. Whatever the root cause, it is essential to face these emotions directly and seek healthier outlets for fulfilling both emotional and physical needs. Engaging in hobbies, social interactions, or physical activities like yoga or walking can help restore a more balanced approach to pleasure and overall health. Consider an individual who, after the loss of a partner, might initially turn to masturbation as a way to fill the void. While it can offer temporary comfort, over time, this habitual response might deepen the feeling of isolation or hinder the healing process. In contrast, reconnecting with old friends, engaging in new activities, or even volunteering can open doors to emotional fulfillment and a sense of community, ultimately leading to a healthier and more balanced life. Ultimately, the key is to remember that sexual expression is just one of many ways we can nurture our well-being. It should complement other aspects of our lives, not replace them. Just as we would not rely solely on food or rest to satisfy all our needs, sexual pleasure, when balanced with other sources of joy and connection, can continue to enhance our lives well into our later years. In conclusion, while masturbation is a natural and beneficial practice in older age, it's essential to approach it with awareness of its limits. When practiced in moderation, it can be a significant source of physical and emotional satisfaction, promoting mental clarity and enhancing sexual health. However, it's important to recognize when it shifts from being a positive outlet to becoming a substitute for deeper human connections, or when it begins to negatively impact other areas of life. By consciously maintaining balance, older individuals can reap the rewards of self-pleasure without losing touch with the broader emotional and social connections that enrich their lives. These connections, whether through family, friends, or community, remain integral to our overall well-being, reminding us that sexual fulfillment is just one thread in the fabric of a fulfilling life. Thank you for joining us in this thoughtful exploration of self-pleasure in later years. What insights have you gained from today's video? We'd love to hear your thoughts. What part of this discussion do you find most applicable to your own life? Share your reflections in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more meaningful content like this. Your support enables us to continue these important conversations, reaching and benefiting others.